One of the main reasons so many conservatives are surprised and in disbelief today that some of the very few liberal friends and families they may have are cutting them off completely from their lives because they voted for Trump and essentially for what he represents is because conservatives don't know what it feels like to be part of a community in which everyone in it is free to share different political and religious beliefs and attitudes from their own. The fact is that most conservatives don't know what it's like to experience rejection from people who share different thoughts and beliefs from theirs because within their own conservative communities, everyone around them think and believe the exact same way. In fact, one of the key tenets of being a traditional conservative-minded person is that for you as an individual to be able to fit in within a traditional conservative collective community, you must first agree to your unquestioning alliance to that community by agreeing to adhere to every single demand that that community may have in order for you to be accepted. That is to include how you must view and feel about other people from different socioeconomic backgrounds, religious belief, and people who have different skin colors and gender and sexual preferences from yours. Otherwise, you're not welcome to be part of that community to start with. Now, while understanding that many of you listening to me right now will respond back to me by telling me that liberals are no different, that in order for you to be part of a liberal community, you too have to agree to adhere to its liberal beliefs, I will say back to you that you haven't really thought about these matters deeply enough. And this is why. While conservatives share an extensive list of demands and requirements that you must agree on to bow down to in order to be part of that conservative community, liberals, on the other hand, have one single demand, and that is that you will agree to mind your own fucking business. That's it. The only thing that will get you rejected among a liberal community is a violation of that requirement. In other words, the only single thing that liberals are intolerant about is your intolerance. So long as you live your life the way you personally feel to be best for you, and you let me do the same by not trying to turn your own beliefs into laws that will keep me from doing so, then here in my liberal community, you are fully welcome. So in short, here's the main reason why liberals are now cutting people off their lives who voted for Trump and essentially for what he represents. Because if you voted for that bullshit, you are then violating that one single rule when siding with people whose mission in life is to keep other people who refuse to adhere to their conservative beliefs from...
That's the main problem with liberals. If they find something true, they block them.
Here are some of the easiest ways to leave the country as an American. Sorry guys, I simply cannot smile at the moment. It's been a long 24 hours. If you're under 30, consider the Australia or New Zealand working holiday visa. Granted, this is a temporary fix, but Australia allows American citizens up to 3 years on a working holiday and New Zealand offers 1. I personally am working diligently on my exit plan. Stay safe out there, guys.
You two are trying to figure out how you're going to move out of the U.S. after those election results. I'm an American citizen and an Australian permanent resident, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for my...
It's so sad that you don't want to stay and see your country become great again.
Some Liberal MPs are now calling for a secret ballot vote to decide whether Prime Minister Justin Trudeau should stay on as Liberal Party leader.
He's convinced he's the right guy. I think he's getting bad advice.
The Prime Minister has already dismissed calls from some of his own MPs, including PEI MP Sean Casey, to step aside. He could also lose support from the Bloc Québécois today. 5 weeks ago, remember the Bloc promised to help keep the Liberal minority government alive if 2 pieces of legislation were passed, but that offer expires today. As of right now, neither bill is close to becoming law. Meanwhile, the Conservatives have been calling on the Bloc to help...
That smug head waggle he does infuriate me.
See, it's interesting how you use the term woke liberal, because the opposite of woke is asleep. And if you would rather sleep your way through life, that's going to cause you more problems than it will ever solve. Just like you were sleeping your way through the election when they groomed you into voting against your own interest because they had you convinced that other poor people and brown people are the fucking cause of all of the woes in your life, when it's actually corporations and billionaires that have been fucking all of us for decades. But you think that you're one of them. Your pick-me attitude is both pathetic and hilarious, because they're not going to pick you because you're not one of them. But yet you're going to give them the power to control your life, and it's not going to turn out the way that you think it will, because when they get rid of Social Security, disability, all of those things that you may depend on one day for your very survival, I'll be here to say I told you so. I'll point and laugh at you when I'm doing it, but it is what it is. You voted away your kids' rights, you voted away your sister's rights, you voted away the rights of every single woman in your life, and you have the stones to tell me that I was brainwashed by some imaginary fucking thing. And it's really telling that because the opposite of woke is a...
Brother, you cannot handle this. It will be okay. Actually, it will be great. Description of woke people has a face.
Who said I can't wear my Converse with my dress?
Look at this article I found today. The dangerous rise of men who won't date woke women. Pathetic. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm quite woke and very alert to social injustice. Woke discrimination in dating should not be tolerated. Also, who wouldn't want this? I mean, look at these bangs. They're perfect. Come to think of it, I've been single for the past 10 years, ever since I started free bleeding in women's marches. But what kind of man doesn't love that level of confidence? I don't even have that many dating requirements. I mean, he has to be a vegan, obviously, and he must have his pronouns in his bio. He must provide proof of vaccination and all his boosters, and he must wear an N95 mask or equivalent during sex, but forget about condoms because that's what abortion healthcare is for. He needs to be okay with the fact that I don't shave any body hair, but he has to be perfectly manscaped with the body of Chris Hemsworth. He also must be okay with the fact that I wear natural deodorant. It doesn't really work, but at least I don't have aluminum seeping into my skin. And last but not least, he must not like video games or sports. So I don't really know what the problem is. I'm a total catch. Did you ever think that maybe it's your attitude? Or maybe it's your...
What does being vegan have to do with this? Protecting animals from unnecessary harm isn't woke. It's just basic kindness.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
This can't be real. This can't be real.
All I can say is how fucking dare you? How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country?
Make sure the camera is just right. Adds more depth and drama, screams harder, louder, okay? Looks good, hit send.
I am fucking feral today. Feral!
I'm going to get drunk today, and I'm going to act like an angry black fucking woman, because I'm fucking angry! I'm mad! I'm upset! I'm angry as fuck, bro. I'm angry, I'm hurt, my feelings are fucking hurt. We always finish last, we always come fucking last to everybody, even our own fucking men. And you niggas mamas be black. This shit is crazy, y'all got black ass daughters. I'm angry as fuck, I'm gonna get drunk and cause a problem.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is there's a blue bracelet that we need to wear because I want to make sure that nobody ever thinks that I am one of the apparently majority of white women who voted for Donald Trump. I do not want you ever to think that I was a no-no. So, is there a particular bracelet?
I say we pass a law that requires anyone who voted for that boring piece of shit to wear their Trump hat 24/7. These conservatives are dangerous for anyone who isn't white, Christian, or male. Completely dangerous.
We need to pass a law to force liberal lunatics like the last one to wear a pedo t-shirt 24 hours a day when it's minus 10 degrees outside.
Because they just don't understand what they voted for and like what it means and the bigotry and hatred that they stand behind and how I am trying to be a good person. I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic. You know, everyone says that election day should be a national holiday. I agree. I think the day after should also be a national holiday, because, like, what do you mean? This can't be real. I'm sorry.
Why would anyone vote for this person? He's so evil. He's so demented. Kamala's not perfect. We all know that. We all know that. Let it out.
Don't disrespect my let it out girl who wasn't for the election. Although I see the resemblance.
No! 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 Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
All the results. It sucks being hated by so many people. It can't be real. It can't be real.
All I can say is how fucking dare you? How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country?
How did they feel after posting his reactions?
This streamer was so angry he ripped his shirt off.
I can't believe Trump's actually gonna win this day! Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm so pissed off! God damn it!
And this woman went completely mad, shaving her head whilst talking about how much she hates men.
Just woke up this morning feeling spicy. You guys feel spicy? Because I do. Alright. I don't know how to use this thing. Let's see what happens. Is this cutting off hair? I'm gonna have to cut it shorter than that. That's it down, right? I think that this is too... it's getting hair. Let's see here. Maybe I gotta cut it. Here we go. Have I given up on America? Yeah. I've also given up on coloring this hair because, right? Coloring my hair, having my hair be long and luxurious, that being skinny, being hot, being all the things that the patriarchy wants us to be, because clearly they don't give about us. And I'm talking to you too.
This woman took to the streets to let out her frustration.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting.
That will show us. Do you know who isn't shaving her head? Amazing.
Does anyone else have a wedding planned for next year? And now, after your next paycheck, you're going to the courthouse because you don't know if you're going to be able to get married to her next year. I don't just want to love her, I want legality of our union. I want her to be able to have things if something happens to me. I want us to be okay. I just want us to be okay.
Relate to you, no, 'cause I never treat me this shitty. You made me hate this city.
Meow! Hope your day gets better. Positive energy.
My
my immigrant mother just called me on the phone innocently asking me if she should start carrying her passport in case they start doing mass deportations to prove that she's a citizen. That's so
You can literally blame Kamala for ignoring the border for 4 years. Trump is a woman beater. He demolished Hillary in 2016 and then destroyed Kamala in this election. Best woman beater ever.
I chose family, I chose women, I chose America. I love you.
People wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but like, I really want to. I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just, I'm like a full-time student. I get scheduled for 25 hours a week, and on weekends they schedule me the entire day, open to close. I'm on the schedule for 8.5 hours, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm like 3.5 hours into my shift. There's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day. Only 5 people were put on the schedule, and somebody had to call out, and there are 4 people running the whole store, and there's so many customers, and there's possibly scheduled 5 people. We only have 13 people employed at this store, and there's so many customers, and we don't have fair scheduling. Managers don't care about us. Our manager was supposed to come in this weekend, and he took himself off the schedule, so he wouldn't be able to be held accountable for calling out. He just literally tore down the schedule that he was scheduled on and put up a new schedule where he wasn't on the schedule. Also, he couldn't have even seen that he was scheduled in the first place because he didn't want to be held accountable for not wanting to come in. They don't want to help us. We need a union because this can't happen. This can't happen. We need fair scheduling. We need managers to hold themselves accountable for helping their workers. They refuse to turn mobile orders off. We need the liberty to be able to do that because there's so many mobile orders and I need to get through all of them. And then people are yelling at me because I don't have their orders ready and they don't know what to do. I can't do it. And a customer was misgendering me today, like really badly. I didn't have their order ready. And so they were just like talking to each other and they're like, she's clearly incompetent. I have a full mustache and beard. What the fuck? I don't get accommodations for being neurodivergent. People get mad at me for using my sick time. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like at my wit's end with this job.
This kid clearly isn't ready for it. He's holed up in the bathroom.
What you do, you will never put out my love. You will never make me give up hope. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter, you will never put out my love.
Shut up, bitch!
I really do not like crying on the internet, but I'm not even about to pretend like this some shit that I'm finna be embarrassed about, bro. Like, I ain't never been so devastated behind an election, and it's just like, when you a black woman surrounded by black men, and they say all this shit like, oh, he's not that bad, and oh, he just hates everyone, bro. Like, it was my brother, homeboy, I was talking to the other day, a black man, and I found out that he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, he does not like you, and he was like, oh no, he just don't like everybody. What? So that's a good candidate for you? Someone who just fucking hates everybody? Like, what? And I'm fucking crying in my room this morning. My brother gonna come up in here and say, what's wrong with you? Like, he can't think of one possible reason why I would be upset right now, bro.
Black women, you don't owe this country shit. You don't owe this country one fucking thing. Not one fucking.
It's so funny Dems are like the reps kids.
I hate to be the person that gets on here and cries. But this could break me and my parents apart because they just don't understand what they voted for and like what it means and the bigotry and hatred that they stand behind and how I like am trying to be a good person I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic because it's like religion's supposed to make you love. But I could see it like breaking me and my parents apart because they just don't get it, and they don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell. My life's okay. I'm a white woman, but my friends are not gonna be okay.
Hi. I want to know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful.
Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people?
No, I haven't walked
Oh.
by recently.
Okay, because a lot of people walk by and scream.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that?
No.
Why are you voting for him?
Because I believe he is the moral candidate.
Oh my God. You for that one.
That's
Moral?
exactly right. That's how your side acts.
Oh my God.
That's
He's
how
the
you
most
guys,
immoral person around.
in your opinion, that's
Oh,
okay. I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. God.
I believe these people need serious mental health counseling.
I'm gutted for a million reasons today, but the thing that broke me the most, I texted my mom and I was like, I don't know if we're ever going to see a woman president in our lifetimes. And she said, I definitely won't, but you still might.
Let's vote for a woman just because she's not a woman.
It's really hard to see a good future, a good outcome out of Trump being president again.
Why did America not vote for Kamala Harris in your view?
I think the economy played a big part. Prices are too high, and at the end, I think it was during the Bill Clinton campaign that it said it's the economy, stupid. It goes back to the economy. So I think that played a big part.
Having a woman in office and a woman of color would just bring such a different perspective to how things are done, and I think it would be so refreshing. So now I woke up this morning just knowing that we're going back to the same old styles of leadership by these older men.
What me as a black woman has to do is to keep pushing, to keep kicking in the door, even though we're the most disrespected, highly unfavorable.
Kamala Harris is not black, and that's the only reason BW wanted her as president. Some people really don't need to be able to vote.
Remember when Democratic pundits thought that the fight over abortion rights could push Vice President Kamala Harris to victory? Well, they're now thinking again, because voters who wanted expanded abortion access did not necessarily think they had to vote for Harris. Here's how we know this. Measures to expand or protect abortion access were on the ballot in 10 states last Tuesday. They passed in 7, and 4 of those states went for Trump, despite the fact that he takes credit for the reversal of Roe versus Wade. That means many people split their votes. The exit polling says it all. In the battleground states of Arizona and Nevada, for example, nearly 2/3 of voters in each state backed abortion rights measures, but far fewer, around 47% in each state, voted for Harris. In fact, roughly a quarter of the people in those states who voted for abortion rights, listen to this, also voted for Trump. And in Trump's home state of Florida, which he won with around 56% of the vote, 57% of voters supported a pro-abortion rights amendment. In the end, that amendment didn't pass because changes to Florida's constitution require a 60% vote. But that's a by the way for another day. For today, the takeaway is that...
What a concept. We don't have to agree with issues along party lines unquestioningly.
Y'all. Who wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando? Me.
How's that funny?
It's just a meme, girl. Relax.
Am I the only one that don't find that funny?
Pretty much. That video is hilarious.
How y'all sitting here cackling and giggling about some Four Seasons Orlando when we about to go to war?
Here she go.
Please. How many of y'all even registered to vote? Me. Oh. I was not
Friend,
so
you know I'm
anymore,
working
right?
on my green card, please.
We got 2 people in office, and it could go either way, and they both don't look like good choices, but y'all keep and laughing talking about some Four Seasons Orlando.
She going in.
I'm
Michelle,
bugging.
relax. It wasn't that deep.
I went to the grocery store the other day.
Wait, I was with you that day. You just got Takis.
And cranberry juice. And why the cranberry juice? $7.
Damn,
no cran mango, no cran apple, just cranberry juice.
Ooh, and that one be sour.
I don't even know what our future looks like. You get what I'm saying? And the laws is being passed, Wake up to find out we the new slaves because we cackling and laughing about Four Seasons Orlando.
Am I the only one that hears that music? Oh my God, no, I heard it.
I guess I'm the only one.
I was confused.
I don't find it funny. It just makes me laugh every time I breathe.
America will vote for an adjudicated rapist if he promises to make their petrol cheaper. Lads, how are we feeling?
You know, a lot of the way Donald Trump carried himself. And the one big thing I thought is, I think his face has got brighter. I think he's genuinely now so bright. I was surprised that moths didn't fly into it.
A man who uses racist, hateful language, refuses to accept the result of a democratic election, incited a riot at the Capitol, and only a few days ago pretended to jerk off a microphone, has now become the next president.
I was always under the impression that getting a criminal conviction stopped you getting a job. But for him, there's a matter. I read this week. So he's allowed to serve as a president of the United States.
Yeah.
But in the state of Florida, legally, he's not allowed to serve drinks. So he can't serve drinks at Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
So he's allowed the nuclear codes, but can't pour a pint of Madry.
An old phrase as inspiration for his campaign, which was, a crook always beats a fool. But where did the Democrats go wrong?
Oh, they got less votes.
Harris did not win.
Who won?
Trump. So
Take a breath.
Yep. So today may look a little different at school.
All right, guys, it's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right? This whole great. Like we're just gonna wake up tomorrow morning and everything's gonna go back to the way it'll be a psych. It'll be like a really bad dream. And I'm sorry. No! Why?
J. Trump is now president of the United States.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere.
Your name is not Jenna.
Please don't assume.
I am assuming.
I'm identifying as Jenna.
Okay, but your name's Caitlin. Why are you here?
No, I'm identifying as Jenna.
She just said my name is not Caitlin. Your name is Caitlin. Why are you here?
Please respect me and my person.
Jenna?
My name is Jenna and my pronouns are they and them. Respect it.
If you don't,
you're a bigot.
She kept a serious face about it, too.
You can be racist against certain groups. And yes, you might be a sellout. You might be whatever.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I'm glad that I know that if I don't agree with you, I'm a sellout and I'm not good enough for my Latinos and I'm not good enough for my father, for my grandfather that escaped Cuba. Thank you.
I love it when immature, woke, entitled, sheltered, whiny white kids lecture Cuban immigrants about racism. How stupid these people's behavior is.
That man doesn't believe in climate change. Do you believe in gravity? Did you know gravity is just a theory?
Can you grab your phone when you come?
Right. Where? No. I paid for this seat and I'm sitting in it. He is in my space.
I've been studying Kamala's charts and it looks like she is not only going to win, but she is going to be winning a second term. The next 8 years in her chart look really, really strong. Trump's not so much.
Based on astrology, I do think that Kamala Harris is going to win the 2024 presidential election.
Okay, so I was wrong. A lot of astrologers were wrong. A lot of us were wrong. But if you think that right now is the time to tell me that you don't believe in astrology.
Paid for the seat, and I had a seat.
The passport. Get your passport. You're gonna need it. Plan B. Pharmacy right away. You've got to go to your pharmacy and get your Plan B. And most importantly,
to tell you. The blue bracelet. Don't forget the blue bracelet. Don't forget the blue bracelet so we know who we are.
Donald Trump had been elected president for a second time. The first thing I did was have a good long cry.
I've given up on America? Yeah. I've also given up on coloring this hair because, right? I understand. I've heard the message loud and clear. We all have. Now women are going to have to just refuse to participate.
My family, the people who raised me, voted for. It's so invalidating, but I'm white. I should not be taking up space.
Do it. Do it.
For the one who broke the TV, Kamala won't pay for a new TV because she is minus 20 million. This is wild.
What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom? If you voted for Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me.
How am I supposed to go to work and do all of my normal daily activities when I know that we all just chose for things to get exponentially harder? And I just want my mom. My mom voted for it.
Guys, I just voted, and I chose family. I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How did we get here? How did we get here? Because of the repercussions of his last presidency.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't even have to freak out right now. We don't even have to, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real.
Is that the first girl to try to debate Charlie Kirk?
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and we have a star-studded lineup for you tonight, from Barbara Streisand to our late-night TV hosts. But let's start, Lefties, with the always clueless, always bitter, always delusional ladies of The View. God bless ABC for keeping this awful program on air. If it wasn't for the hosts of The View, well, I don't know where I'd get my content from some days. All the hosts are pretty awful, but some are more awful than others. Listen here as one of the less awful hosts tries to say something actually sensible and factual, but Sunny Hostin ain't having it. She just keeps screeching misogyny, sexism.
These different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not
Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi.
There you have it. They're all just a pack of misogynist monsters down there, all the Latinos, Hispanics. That's what Sunny thinks. Sounds a little bit racist if you ask me. But the meltdowns did not end there. Here she attacks not just Latinos, but America. The whole country is rotten, apparently.
I think the more relevant question actually is, what is wrong with America? I think, what is wrong with our country? What is wrong with this country that they would choose a message of divisiveness, of xenophobia, of racism, of misogyny over a message of inclusiveness?
Oh, yes, so inclusive, so tolerant. Can she even hear herself? But Sunny wasn't done yet. The angry rant continued.
Does anyone else think it's ironic that two women so full of hate are named Sunny and Joy?
It's poor to starve, it's cops to murder.
Okay, talking about weird, I'm going to miss this woman, Gwen Walls, the wife of Kamala Harris's VP pick, Tim Walls. She would have been a rich source of material for this segment, but sadly, Harris and Walls were a uniquely terrible, inauthentic and unelectable team. Here is Gwen, however, rallying the troops after the devastating loss.
I'm not sure if you heard me. We cannot and we will not give up this fight. That's right, come on! Come on! That's right, we cannot and we will not give up this fight! That's right. All right, you can sit down now.
You can sit down now. I'm going to miss you, Gwen, but we're turning the page. We're turning the page.
Bye-bye, Donald Trump. We are turning the page.
Oh, we'll always have that. That was possibly my favourite lefties losing it moment of the year. She's a little bit terrifying if you ask me. Now let's check in with a couple of late night TV hosts who are not coping well with reality. Let's start with the painfully unfunny hypocrite Jimmy Kimmel, who was brought to tears by democracy, but he started off pretty cocky before the election.
Little snowflake. What a blowhard. He's a blowhard and a snowflake. He's a blowflake is what he is. He should change the hats to say Make America Wine Again. It's more than half of this country voted for the criminal, still trying to figure out.
I haven't seen the Democrats this upset since Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery.
Why he's crying. Maybe there is something redeeming or insightful we can learn from this man.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go. For healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth.
He's totally demented. It was a terrible night for democracy. What democracy was terrible for democracy, a candidate winning in a landslide, winning the Electoral College by the biggest margin we've seen from a Republican in 36 years, winning the popular vote, biggest popular vote ever by a Republican, winning convincingly, including the Senate, every swing state. And that's bad for democracy. You see, the left only values democracy if they win. And during that little emotional diatribe from Kimmel, he talked about women's rights and decency. I'm sorry, but I'm not about to be lectured on decency from this creep.
Tell us what you think of the statue. I mean, do you think that she's attractive or not? Take another look at it.
It's so obscene that we've had to pixelate some of that footage and can't show you the whole thing. He's always been gross and frightfully unfunny. And talking about unfunny, let's hear from Stephen Colbert.
All day yesterday, I was walking around proudly wearing my I voted sticker. Today, I wore my I am questioning my fundamental belief in the goodness of humanity sticker. Now, they give those out. This is a democracy. That's democracy with a capital duh. And in this democracy, the majority has spoken, and they said they don't care that much about democracy.
You know, the Republicans should pray to have political opponents that are this dumb, this blind, this deluded, and completely incapable of introspection, so out of touch and insulated in their little echo chambers that they are unlikely to ever work out the obvious reasons why Donald Trump won in a landslide. At least Colbert is honest enough to note that his audience is protected from the truth.
If you watch this show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
Yep, if you watch trash like that, reality will hit you hard because you've been fed nothing but leftist lies and hysteria. And a woman who clearly has been on a diet of lies and hysteria and pancakes is Barbara Streisand. Remember the last time Trump was president and she claimed that he was making her fat? That's a real headline. Well, this time she's pledging to flee the country.
How do you feel about the specter of a second Trump administration?
I will move. I can't live in this country if he became president.
But where would you go? Where would you go?
Probably to England.
Mm-hmm.
I like England.
Now, there'll be plenty more lefties content with my next guest, host of Primetime with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex Stein, who also did invaluable work as a white dude for Kamala.
We have to stop Donald Trump from getting into office. I came here with a dream. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to stand for Donald Trump, and I'm doing it for these kids. I love these kids. I love these kids. I'm just not happy.
The most relevant question is, why does that show have sponsors?
Facebook, she's in Cancun, Mexico, with her new boyfriend. And I just want one kid to learn how to do math.
Oh, some of your best work, Alex. Explain yourself, please.
Well, Rita, that was the day after the election, and they had a special meeting in Washington, D.C., because the testing scores, the standardized scores for the Washington school children, K through 12, were alarmingly bad. In the inner city schools, that the kids were proficient for their grade level, just 8% of the students were proficient. So they had to have a special meeting all about math. So that's why I went up there and talked about math. But that was the day after the election. And listen, I was up all night celebrating that Donald Trump win. I rolled in there. You know, my pencil is not full of lead, but still, I went in there and did my best. And
it was a great performance.
I'm so happy. Thank you, Rita.
It was a great performance. Now, people do celebrate in different ways, and I'm wondering whether you had anything to do with this celebration.
You ain't the same on the game. Hey, Donald Trump is your president, if you like it or not.
Donald Trump is your daddy again. Did you put that sign up, Alex? It looks like your work.
No, I did not. And, you know, honestly, Daddy Trump needs to come back. He's coming back. Gas prices are about to get cheap. We don't have to worry about biological men beating women in women's sports. I mean, the world is going to get exponentially better. So if we got to call Donald Trump daddy, he is. He's the father of this country, and there's no better father than Donald Trump.
Now, Alex, Donald Trump's youngest son, Barron, has been credited for helping guide his father's strategy to attract younger voters through appearances with podcasters, comics like
Calling Latinos as misogynists and then calling yourself as inclusive is a whole other level of delusional.
Involvement in his campaign.
So I have a son who's very smart and tall, Barron, right? And he knows all about you. He knows about guys I never heard of. He said, Dad, you don't know how big they are. They're big. You know, he told me how big. I said, who the hell is he? Like Ross. I did. He said, Dad, he's a great guy. I mean, guys that are doing, it's a whole new world out there.
How much of a difference did this so-called bro vote have in this election? I remember Republican women like Riley Gaines, even Megyn Kelly, were encouraging men to go out there and vote to help save the country.
Well, it was huge. And a lot of people want to criticize Donald Trump, but I think the best judgment of a man's character is how well Donald Trump's children are doing. And his son Barron is a genius for basically putting his campaign over the top. And then on top of that, you look at Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and, you know, his other children that have issues. You know, the Obamas, their kids are pretty wacky. All of Donald Trump's children work in his business, support him. They all have clean criminal records. I don't think any of them are selling our secrets to the Ukraine. So Donald Trump is a great father, and he raised a great young man in Barron Trump, and I'm really indebted to him for making him think outside the box and go on these podcasts and do untraditional media. And I really do think that was the difference in this election.
Now let's have a look at some young men celebrating this famous victory.
There was never any doubt, Kamala, you're fired.
Barbara says she's leaving the country every time a Republican wins. Yawn.
My daughter texted me last night and she's like, "Hey mom, when you get time, can you post a 10-minute rant?" Because I had said like earlier in my previous TikTok that I wanted to go on for 10 minutes, but I didn't have the time. And I'm seeing on my last post that a lot of you agree with me that the participation award has just really impacted our culture as a whole. Somewhere along the line, there became this ideology that everyone is a winner, that everybody deserves to win, that everything needs to be fair. And life isn't fair. That, like, it's just not. Suffering is a part of life. Not getting what you want is a part of life. Not getting the ideal outcome is a part of life. it happens, and it doesn't just happen in a political climate. It also happens in real life. It happens in relationships. It happens, in your health. I think all of us in general and as a whole, we can think of a time where we wanted a relationship and it didn't work out. We wanted to get into a school and we didn't get into it. We got sick. Like, I didn't want a cancer diagnosis when I got it. I wasn't asking for it, but I got it. And did I think that was fair? No, I didn't think it was fair, but we got through it. And it's just, you have to learn how to suffer. You have to learn that life isn't always fair, and you have to be resilient in those moments, and you have to learn how to function within them. Sitting here on TikTok, screaming, shouting, threatening, falling apart, shaving your head, saying you're going to get a hysterectomy, asking if you can call in sick and not go to work. All of these things are just so over the top that it just shows the state of where we are. And it's scary and it's sad, because there are going to be some women who are going to go ahead and they're going to get the hysterectomy because they think they're doing something. And then later on down the road, it's going to be no different than the kids who transition and then have to go through a detransition because they realize that's not what they want. And they're out there talking about how, if only my parents stopped me, if only somebody had said something. But that's the problem. Don't even get me started on the whole gentle parenting movement, okay? I'm not saying like be harsh and rough with your children, but children do need to understand discipline. They need to receive discipline. They need to understand cause and effect. They need to understand consequence. And sometimes they just need to understand obedience. First time, period. Because of this kind of a situation, when something is outside of your control, you have a group of people completely unhinged. I'm not saying everybody's like that. I'm not saying that every Democrat is like that or every liberal is like that. And I'm sure that there are Republicans out there that at this point, it's not even like a political party, but what we're seeing, we're seeing evidence of the manifestation of what these parenting tools or what culture is producing right now. Everybody gets offended over everything, absolutely everything. And everybody is racist. Everybody is offensive. Everybody this, everybody that. We've got to change how we speak. We've got the mental gymnastics. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. That is not something I'm participating in. I'm not participating in the mental gymnastics. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out 600 ways on how not to offend you, because you don't know how to hear information, take from it what is important, and then throw away the rest. We need to be more concerned about learning how to be unoffended, learning how not to live with offense in our heart, than out there trying to change everybody to speak the way you want them to speak, to accept everything that you want them, to accept. It's ridiculous. There are so many different places to live that, yes, you can choose to live somewhere else. If it's that much of a bother, you have options. If this country cannot provide you what you want, there are other options. If the state that you're living in is not providing you what you want and need, you have options. Everybody has options. Nobody is without options. So to sit here, to cry and to whine and to scream and to threaten physical harm and all, it is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Why don't you look at this as an opportunity to stretch and grow yourself? Why don't you look at this as an opportunity to become resilient? Why don't you look at this as an opportunity to learn something new, to open up your mind to think in a different way? We've had to. As a Republican, I've had to. I worked in a corporate environment where they shoved pronouns down our throat, where they wanted the people in the company that worked for us to answer the phone providing pronouns and asking customers what pronoun they would prefer. When the client base was mostly elderly and they were so confused by the question, they didn't even know why that question was being asked. I've had to deal with going in and out of bathrooms with men dressed like trying to look like a woman, beard, hairy legs, hairy armpits, and a skirt, and a shirt stuffed with socks, with the sock hanging out of the top. I've had to deal with that. I've had to explain to my children what that is. I've had to adjust my life, how I parent, how my kids go to the restroom. I've had to adjust everything for the climate of where we are in the country right now, as many people have. Like, you're not alone. You're not the only person that's having to go through things. We are all, because you have two polar opposite views, there's going to be give and take. There's going to be things on both sides that both people on both sides are going to have to learn to deal with. Just like I'm a strong Bible-believing Christian, but I understand that not everybody has that view. I understand that there are some people who do not understand why I value life as much as I do and why I consider having an abortion murdering a baby. I understand that there are people out there that don't understand that. And there's grace for that. I get it. I haven't been a Christian my whole entire life, and I've had an abortion. I understand it. My viewpoint has changed. I can still hold space for people who don't understand it, but does it mean that I'm going to forsake where I am right now? No. But there are other people who don't believe in the same thing, and they're out there on TikTok bragging that they've had 54 abortions and they want to keep killing babies because they like killing babies. I mean, polar opposites. So it's just, this just is where we are because of a lack of truth telling, because we want everybody to feel good. We want everybody to, to be affirmed. We want everybody, to be unoffended and all this stuff. And this is where it's gotten us. And let me just tell you, you shaving your head, getting a hysterectomy, not having kids, and not taking up the men, like, that's not hurting us. I just want to make that 100% clear. And also statistically, there are more women than men. So the ratio for you women to find a husband is already low. Now, remove you out of the picture. You've just made it so much easier for men. So much easier. So you're not doing us any favors by doing what you're doing. So you might, if that's what it takes to make you feel good, then awesome. But just know that a hysterectomy is permanent, and with it comes menopause and a whole bunch of other stuff, and a decrease in life expectancy.
I feel kids aren't being taught how to persevere when life gets hard, and that you always get what you want because you want it.
Even the best clips, we're going to keep going because some of these are so crazy, I don't even know what to do with myself.
This is all pretty great. Like we're just going to wake up tomorrow morning and everything's going to go back to the way it'll be a psych. It'll be like a really bad dream and none of this will have ever happened, right? It'll be like the first time, and then we're all going to pull through fine in 4 years. Correct? Please? Someone tell me? I can tell you one thing right now, marriage is the farthest thing from on the table currently. So they screwed the pooch on that one if they thought that any of this was going to actually help with the whole family and kids department and lowering birth rates, because that, not even. Any semblance of thoughts I had or hope for that is completely going to be a no thanks for me, love. You think I would ever even dare bring a child into this country now? It was rough before. Now? No. That's cute. And the men, don't even get me started about dating. To think I was still entertaining a few moderates here and there sometimes. No.
Do they seriously not realize that filming themselves crying is literally the greatest thing a Trump supporter could have hoped for?
What sign? He's your president now.
He won.
He's your president now.
She couldn't even go address her own followers that night. How weak is that? And you wanted that for a leader? You're too weak to go represent the people that came to you? No, it's an awesome sign. Hell yeah, he won. Trump is back, baby. Trump is back, baby. Yes. Woo!
Have a good day. Blessings to you. Blessings.
Oh my God. People like that, we still need state hospitals.
So it's been a week since Donald Trump was re-elected to become the President of the United States of America, and these liberal commands...
Liberal women breaking up with their conservative men is a win for those men. In conclusion, the online reaction to woke liberals melting down has sparked a lot of debate. People are voicing their opinions, whether in support or against. As always, it's important to stay informed, keep an open mind, and respect differing viewpoints. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.